Boston, the former teammates, to jump it up. And here we go at target center.
Kayla McBride, one of the premier perimeter defenders in the WNBA, gets the assignment on Caitlin Clark to start.
Here is Mitchell looking for Clark. Off to her, 8 to shoot. Into Boston. Boston was really authoritative the other night against Portland, right out of the gates like that.
She is so comfortable backing down her defender, comfortable as well when multiple defenders come.
Howard having an excellent season for Minnesota. Dumps it in. Collier can't finish. Here's Indiana in transition, and McBride with the hockey goalie stop.
Aaliyah Boston getting the ball in the block. Can face up or back you down. Senses that a double might come from the middle. Goes back over the baseline shoulder.
Saw Aaliyah Boston go down on Tuesday against Seattle, but was able to come and play against Portland, and obviously in there today as Billings lays it in on the delivery from Clark.
Focus on Caitlin Clark. There's also defensive attention on Boston on the roll. Billings ends up wide open as a result.
Stephanie White was telling us before the game how the timing on the Billings pass has been so good of late for Indiana. It must improve as Minnesota gets on the board. With Howard laying it in, Clark can't hit that three. Miles flags down the rebound. Miles, no look, quickly up ahead. McBride.
Three-quarter court, no look pass for a great-looking three.
Both of these teams can play in transition. Here's Billings looking for an angle. Didn't really find one. Knocked out of bounds by Hull. It'll be Minnesota basketball.
Caitlin Clark finding the cutter, the defense looking, seeing Boston, but not Billings. And then Olivia Miles made the look away. Three-quarter court still on the money.
And Kayla McBride, 5th all-time in WNBA history and made threes. And just had maybe the best month of her career in July as Collier lays in with a left hand.
See the extended defense by Minnesota. Going to pick up Clark early.
So Boston takes it herself and finishes. Good action in the early minutes between the Lynx and the Fever. Collier fading. Can't hit. Billings the rebound. Here comes Clark. Cheryl Reed very concerned about transition in this one. Oh, what touch. Mitchell. She got it. Right to Boston. To Kelsey Mitchell for three. Here's Miles dipping around. Mitchell lays it down. And Clark a little slow to get up after that fall. And Kelsey Mitchell as well. Looked like she might have taken a shot on the neck on the way by. Here's Hull off the rebound. Mitchell buries another three. Stephanie White trying to communicate now with Caitlin Clark to see if she's okay to stay in.
The last possession when Olivia Miles drove by Kelsey Mitchell, her offhand as she was swiping by, got Mitchell a little bit in the neck.
You know, when Mitchell gets hot, she can go on quite a burner. 2 threes already. As Howard dances in, keeps it alive. Miles. Oh, yeah.
Natasha Howard gets to the offensive glass 3.5 times per game, second only to Angel Reese.
Billings gets fouled and will shoot 2.
Indiana wants to push the pace, and you see Boston running the middle of the floor, sucking in the defense, and she is facing Mitchell, knows how to deliver it back outside. Off the offensive board by Howard. Miles between her and the defender just gets all the time she needs to hit the three.
Oh, I see what you did there with Miles.
Took me a second.
Yeah, it did. But we'll give you credit for the double entendre rather than the delay. Well, Clark is still kind of flexing out her leg a little bit after taking that fall on the Miles layup. We were talking with Stephanie White about this run that Caitlin has been on, and she said she just feels so confident in how she's playing, her shot selection, but also in her body right now. She's healthy, and you can see that in how she's been playing, her pace. That was Cheryl Reeves' main focus to us before the game as well when it comes to Caitlin, saying her pace and her passing are just incredible, and she's playing the best basketball of her professional career, no doubt. Into Howard, 4 to shoot. Howard's face up is good. 14 all. Not even 4 minutes into this first. Here's Mitchell dancing, finding, Billings finishing. Beautiful delivery from Kelsey Mitchell.
Again, in a place where Billings is just in the exact right spot when Kelsey Mitchell draws multiple defenders.
Here is Miles trying to work around the double and does. The reverse from the rookie.
Miles going to her right hand on the dribble. So tough to defend once she gets around the rim because can finish on either side.
Stephanie White wanted them to push her left. Kick ball's going to keep things here. Now this was the play with Miles when Caitlin Clark went down. And in the aftermath of that, just was kind of shaking out her leg as Mitchell lays it in off the inbound from Clark. And a chance for 3 for Kelsey Mitchell, who already has 8 points in this first.
Kelsey Mitchell's so good on cuts, in particular back cuts, using her quickness, and you're trying to deny her catching the basketball on the perimeter, but if you over-deny, she's just going to go. And that's exactly what happened on that side out of bounds.
Now, if you're wondering, what is the record for most consecutive games with at least 20 in WNBA history? A'ja Wilson in a single season, 15 games. If you extend it between the 2 seasons, it's 20 from A'ja. Right now, Kelsey Mitchell at 13, which is tied with Diana Taurasi for the 2nd longest streak in league history.
How do you always know what I'm wondering?
You know, 14 years of this.
That's true.
Although really it took us like, what, 1 broadcast?
I think maybe 2.
Williams, she got it. Courtney Williams, another all-star season. Here's Billings running the floor and laying it in on the down-court feed from Clark. Big screen from Howard. Miles pedals, shovels, and finishes. Olivia Miles off to a dazzling start. So is Mitchell. Doesn't get the roll there. Collier the rebound. How about this pace?
It's incredible.
Just halfway through the first and is already 21 all. Miles sets up Collier. Her 3 is good. That is a dangerous pick-and-roll combo that's only going to get better.
Only a few games together so far already this season. What are these two going to look like come September? Watch out.
Here's Clark looking to take McBride. Off to Boston. Mitchell sets the screen for Boston. Knocked out of bounds by Williams. Timeout on the floor. Well, so far, it's looking up to the billing.
Fumble the ball because she's just so quick and able to deliver the pass. So she said, be ready. When they finally get their rhythm and their chemistry down, she said, we are going to be really dangerous.
No doubt, Ollie. Good stuff there. As Clark fades away and drops it in. First points of the game for Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark's comfort in the mid-range now, whether it's the fadeaway or drawing contact closer to the rim, is the best it's ever been.
Well, she has as many points in the mid-range through 27 games this year as she had all her first 2 years combined, which was 53 total games. Clark lobs it ahead. Boston gets fouled.
Exactly what we're talking about. Caitlin Clark on the last possession, coming into the mid-range, navigating with her dribble, feeling the defenders, seeing the second defender come. It's a fade on this possession, but time and again this season, we've also seen her initiate contact, getting to the free throw line. That's exactly right there what you were talking about, Ryan.
Just the continued improvement and expansion of her game. Here's Clark, thought about pulling, will drive it instead to the corner. Billings a 3, way off. Not really Billings' game, but Stephanie White wants her taking those when open in the corner. Williams knocks in a 3. Courtney Williams of Minnesota red hot to start this game. Boston busted up the floor and a foul called on Howard. as Boston chucks her to the hardwood. How about Minnesota? They are 12 of 15 from the floor.
I mean, they're just so incredibly efficient. That time, Kelsey Mitchell gets caught up on the roll by Howard, and Courtney Williams has the space. This last time when Aaliyah Boston was bringing the ball down the floor, if you ever watch lacrosse, and sometimes there's like a big defender, and then they sprint to the other end of the field, and they just have people bouncing off of them, that's what that looked like to me. I'm only a year into understanding lacrosse a little bit, but that was Aaliyah Boston just bringing the ball down the floor.
I'm sure the lacrosse portion of our audience appreciates that. Here is...
They do immensely.
Clark looking to shake free, sidestepping, jumper is good. There it is again in the mid-range, separating from Nia Coffey.
Separating by initiating the contact. That's different.
Ryan Hawkinsmith did a great article about that in Caitlin's pregame warm-up routine, which you can read on ESPN right now on the app or .com. Terrific breakdown. 9 straight makes for Minnesota. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell kicks off Clark, out of bounds. It'll be Minnesota basketball. And how about that? That is the first turnover of the game for either team.
It's been so cleanly and well played. And there's Caitlin Clark initiating a little push with the off hands, creating the space.
McBride throws it away, so back-to-back turnovers, each team with their first of the day. Cunningham looking in. Gets it back to Mitchell, a 3. She got it. Kelsey Mitchell with her third 3 of the quarter, already 12 points.
Incredible, the way she is able to score when a defender is right up on her.
Coffey gets free and lays it in. Who doesn't like some free coffee? Oh, Clark, the breakdown, the drive, the denial from UAS, and then it's taken away. Minnesota on the move. Good D there from Dorka UAS. Williams giving it up. Caldwell, 6 to shoot. Stolen by Clark. Here's Clark. Firing from the logo. Couldn't get it to go. An ambitious attempt there from Clark.
That was deep even for her.
Yeah. Clark will check out. Ty Harris in, 4 points, 3 assists for Caitlin Clark in the first, where she again played more than 8 minutes, and that's usually meant good things for Indiana this season. 9-4 when she plays 8 or more minutes in the first, just 6-6 when she does not. Coffey, the breakdown, the shoulder, the stop, left it short. Miles back in for Minnesota. Already 9 points and 3 assists for the heavy Rookie of the Year favorite. Here is Mitchell cutting to the cup. 14 for Kelsey Mitchell.
Sometimes when she's going left, it just looks like a ball handling drill. And the players are the cones that you see in those individual workouts. She just makes everybody stand still.
2-for-1 opportunity for the Lynx. Miles kicks. Caldwell's 3. No. Looked like Coffey able to separate from Harris. And Minnesota's been able to access the offensive glass in this opening quarter as well. Indiana can essentially hold for 1. And Timpson, recognizing it, will slow things down with Ty Harris. Mitchell, another 3. You bet! A long 2 for Kelsey Mitchell, who has 16 in the quarter. 1 second left. Caldwell got fouled. The reach in from Indiana with .1 to go and free throws here for Maya Caldwell.
Kelsey Mitchell has had stretches this season where she's just ridiculous, and it doesn't matter that the defender is right there. She's got two lunging at her. It just doesn't matter. She's able to get the shot off and hit it pure.
And they called that a 2 on the floor. To the naked eye, looked like she was behind the line. I'm not into the, at least that angle of the replay. Wouldn't be surprised if that perhaps gets overturned as Caldwell misses the free throw. How about the shot making from both teams in this quarter?
It's what we hope for.
Indiana shooting 65%, Minnesota shooting 75%. Cheryl Reeve talked to us about how difficult it was going to be to stop Indiana, and she said 69 in that first.
This is fun.
Olivia Miles, who Cheryl Reeve said she decided to give the keys fully to before the season. And she told us multiple times, Rebecca, that she almost single-handedly had them with the best record in the league the first half of the year as they played without Nafisa Collier.
Interesting with the matchups on the floor. Michaela Timpson, the big for Indiana, has the primary defensive assignment on Miles.
And again, Indiana's inability to secure the defensive glass cost them. That has not been an issue for Indiana this season. In fact, they enter this game allowing the fewest second chance points in the league as Clark brings in her first 3 of the day.
That certainly is a strength for Minnesota. They're third in the W, getting to the offensive glass in terms of rebounds per game.
Foul here on Timpson.
Moving without the basketball, and the effectiveness of cutting and Dorka Juhas. There's just a little miscommunication for Aaliyah Boston and who she's guarding. Juhas recognizes it, and then on the handoff, going under the handoff, under the screen on Caitlin Clark. Never a good idea.
Belair on the drive. The lefty finish won't go, but a foul. And Aaliyah Boston sprinting immediately saying, challenge that. And
first half of that huddle talking about what they've got to get better at. Part of it is rotation. She doesn't like how open Minnesota's getting in the corner. She said, we've just got to get there on those rotations. She said, there is a deeper level we can get to. We've got to get to a deeper level of defense right now. Minnesota doing whatever they want offensively.
All right, thank you very much, Al. Ty Harris, Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Michaela Timpson, Sophie Cunningham, the 5 for Indiana. Boston spinning, fading, and finishing. Tied at 38. Indiana shooting 68%. Minnesota shooting just under 70%. Miles throws it off the foot of Boston out of bounds.
Caitlin Clark to Aaliyah Boston. How many times have we said or heard that? The screen and roll delivers it. Aaliyah Boston is equally comfortable right, left of the floor. Equally comfortable going over right or left shoulder. So hard to figure out what to take away from her.
Here's Miles. Popping the 3. Bang! Hitting. Olivia Miles has not missed today. Minnesota back up by 3. Clark on the drive into the paint, hooks it up and off. Rebound deflected in the arms of Minnesota. Miles, not that time. Rebound ends up with Cunningham. Here is Harris off to Clark. Deep set 3 is good. Second 3 of the game for Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark got that look because of the screen by Aaliyah Boston. Smart decision by Boston.
Tied at 41. Here's Caldwell. Yeah. Maya Caldwell burying the 3.
This game has just been silly in terms of the offensive efficiency.
Caldwell 38% on the season from 3. Here's Clark, this time going to drive it, looking for help. Cunningham on the attack, scoops it up and off. Rebound, Caldwell comes away with it. Needs some help in the backcourt. Now the clock becomes a little bit of an issue, and Minnesota just gets it across. And a whistle, no indication as to what. We'll call foul on Cunningham.
Olivia Miles Miles, talk about efficiency. Her ability to just step into shots, doesn't matter who is on her. And you cannot forget where Caitlin Clark is at any time. Boston steps up, sets the screen, gives Clark just a second longer to get off her three.
Miles with 12 points, 5 assists. Clark with 10 points, 4 assists.
Safe to say, two of the most exciting players in the league.
I think in the history of the league.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's interesting about some of the guards you're seeing here today is the efficiency. If you look at true shooting percentage, which weights for both free throws and three-point percentage, number 1 in the league, Kelsey Mitchell in true shooting percentage. Number 2, Kayla McBride. Number 3, Caitlin Clark. So you have arguably the 3 most efficient guards in the league in addition to the bountiful stats. Number 4 on that list is Paige Beckers, another incredible guard. Now they're going to take a look.
The previous play is under review for a potential hostile act after the whistle.
Going to take a look at the elbow that happened here after the defensive foul was called on Cunningham.
Yeah, right there. I think that's just a common foul. Nia Coffey is just trying to bring the ball through. Sophie Cunningham's face is right there.
I think it's a natural basketball motion.
I 100% think that's a natural basketball motion. Anyone who's ever done a pivot drill knows that. So I think it should stay just a common foul.
After review, it is just a defensive foul. No hostile act occurred. There was no secondary act after the defensive foul. Play resumes with Minnesota ball on the sideline.
Oh, you didn't realize they called that on Sophie Cunningham?
No! Okay,
so where is...
I think it should be an offensive foul. I don't think it should be a defensive foul.
And here's the thing. Now, when they go and look at that, they can't change it from a defensive foul to an offensive foul.
Unless it's been a challenge.
Challenge, right. And Indiana just had to use a challenge on a phantom call. They're not going to use another one right there. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there's the defensive foul. The hands on Coffey right away.
Okay.
That's the defensive foul that occurs before the contact from Coffey on Cunningham.
Okay.
Both these teams are combined 13 of 20 from 3. Miles bounces. McBride with Mitchell back in for Indiana after a 17-point first quarter. Miles sidestepping 3. You bet! The spectacle putting on a show. Clark on the drive. Clark will lay it up and off. Miles off the rebound. Miles splits the D and pies it in. Olivia Miles cooking up a special first half here in Minneapolis. And the Lynx on an 8-0 run. Boston bangs, leaves it short. Raven Johnson getting some minutes now for Indiana, and she is going to guard Miles. Williams, the pocket pass. Howard can't serve it in. Rebound loose. Billings has it for Indiana. Here comes Raven Johnson. And Stephanie White wants a timeout. Cheryl Reeve was talking to us about, and you see Olivia Miles already the 3rd most games by a rookie all-time with 15 and 5, creeping up on Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark in that regard. Clark trying to slip it into Billings. Johnson on the cut, lays it in. Nice cut from Raven Johnson. But just to finish that, Cheryl Reeve was talking to us about her connection with her point guards over the years. We did so many Lynx games where we would watch Cheryl huddle with Lindsay Whalen. Always just the 2 of them before the start of every game. And she said with her connection with Olivia Miles and her point guards in general, she never wants them worrying about anything offensively. Wants them to feel totally empowered and never unsure. So the defense, yeah, we coach up Olivia on defense in different ways. The offense, she wants to make sure she's totally at ease.
She certainly looked like a player at ease from the jump here this season.
Here's Clark in the mid-range, had to readjust. Mitchell able to flag it down. Boston. Hand off to Clark. Back to Boston. Miles knocks it away. Boston will still shoot it. Can't hit. Raven Johnson tips it off Miles, who stepped out of bounds, and Indiana gets another chance as we check in with Holly.
Well, we love that connection with Lindsay Whalen and Olivia Miles. We actually walked in this morning with Lindsay Whalen and asked her, you know, what made her so unique as a guard. And she said, one, I think it was my toughness. But two, I was the oldest child. So she said, I think that big sister energy translated onto the court. You see some of that big sister energy that she's giving to Olivia Miles. They sit on the bench. They go through film pregame. It is a one-on-one short in any moment offensively because she's got Cheryl Reed and Lindsay Whalen pouring into her big sister energy running through this Lynx team.
Great stuff, Al, as Miles scoops in another. Olivia Miles with 19 first half points, and then Indiana turns it over as Raven Johnson stepped down on the inbound.
Regan was trying to give the ball back to the official, but she had already taken it out. Her teammates now going over to her. It's okay. It's okay. Like, regroup from this. Regan's brought some nice energy in her minutes here.
Stephanie White telling us she felt like Raven could be a good fit in this matchup to spend some time on Miles. McBride, no. Long rebound, another offensive board, more second chance points for the Lynx. Largest lead of the game for Minnesota, riding a 9-game winning streak into this one. They have 9 second chance points in this first half. Boston gives it up. Mitchell, an offensive foul, delayed but called against Boston.
You know, Aaliyah Boston likes to back down the defenders. Yeah, lowers the shoulder after swiping as well. Fair call.
Miles, 19 points, 5 assists. And that's going to be a foul on Raven Johnson. Hey, let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule later today. NBC and Peacock will have LA and Toronto at 3:30 Eastern. Then tonight on ESPN, Connecticut and Dallas at 7. Tomorrow, it's Vegas, Atlanta at 7 on Peacock. USA Network has Phoenix and Chicago at 9. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app.
How about the big trade?
That's right. Kelsey Plum heading to Phoenix. Miles. Oh, my! The wizardry from Miles, whistling it off the window. Here's Clark, draws 2, got fouled. Olivia Miles with 21 in this first half.
She just looks so sure and confident with all of her movements. This time, going left. The scouting report on her is force her left. She's like, okay, I'll take it. Finishing back on the right side.
She's 9 of 10 from the floor. Mitchell's jumper won't go. Mitchell yet to score in the second after she had 17 in the first. Miles, no look to the corner. McBride, short. Rebound, Timpson wins the battle. By the way, the foul on Boston was the first on an Indiana starter in this game. Clark bounces in. Timpson gets denied. Timpson flips it up and off, but draws the foul. And Indiana will go to the line to shoot 2. Clark yet to shoot a free throw in this game after she has more free throw makes than any player in a long time since 2001 over the last 5 games. We chat right now with Aaliyah Boston joining us from the bench. AB, I mean, the pace of this game has been incredible. How would you describe what it's been like on the floor in this first half?
Pretty fast. I think we've just been going up and down. I think for us, we just got to try to slow it down defensively, get a stop.
And collectively, how do you get your team to be better on the defensive boards?
I mean, it's just effort. I've given up a few. I think we just have to make sure that we prioritize that. I mean, long shots, long rebounds, and they came off pretty long, so we just got to give a little bit more effort.
All right, Aaliyah, we appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Aaliyah Boston in this first half, 8 points on 4 of 6 shooting. It's Minnesota with the 11-point lead as Mitchell comes up with a steal. Mitchell all the way in for the lay.
The game day attendant was still on the floor, mopping on this end, had to retreat quickly after that steal.
Miles, pitter-patter, deliver. Collier got fouled. And Nafisa Collier is going to shoot two, and Olivia Miles now gets hit with a tee, as Olivia Miles was upset that Mitchell wasn't called for a foul right here. Olivia Miles, man, had something to say about it. It was immediately teed up by Tiara Cruz, and now Caitlin Clark will shoot her first free throw of the game. Shot 17 the other night against Portland. And Clark hits the free throw.
All right, game day attendance. It's a tough gig, and you see it here. He's going to come out. Floor looks a little wet. Let me get some mopping done. Getting it done. Wait a minute. There's a steal. Retreat, retreat, retreat.
Well, I tell you what, he was very calm in that retreat.
Yeah, he really was.
No panic.
I'm guessing he's done this before.
It was like a NASA pilot level of poise in that moment. Give that man the lunar module. Collier at the line, shooting her first free throws of the day, as Aaliyah Boston will check in for Monique Billings. 59% from the floor for Indiana in this game. Minnesota at 68.5%. As Collier sinks both. Clark directing traffic, speeds it across the timeline. Guarded by McBride through traffic again. Boston trying to flag it down, and does, and then is fouled by Howard. Was able to go into the backcourt to get it because of the deflection. And Howard picks up what is going to be her third foul. So a key foul there on Natasha Howard.
So the deflection goes into the backcourt. That's a tough one. And Howard's been really impactful in this game, not only getting to the offensive glass, but just her activity on both ends.
Clark will sit for Indiana, 11 points, 4 assists for Clark. Mitchell leads the way with 19 for the Fever. Ty Harris, who's played very well for the Fever, comes in off the bench. Here is Boston. Off to Mitchell. Back to Boston. Her three rims off. Boston's been the league leader in three-point percentage this season. First year she's taken them with any kind of regularity. Williams dumps it off. Uhas to the corner. Miles with Timpson on her. Miles, not that time, and Mitchell flies back for the board. 10-point Minnesota lead. 1:42 to go in this first half. Mitchell hopping, gets denied by Miles, controlled by Uhas. Williams in the mid-range, no. Courtney Williams, the second most mid-range makes in WNBA history in her career. Only former Lynx star and Hall of Famer Simone Augustus with more. Here's Mitchell sprinting through the lane, pops it in, and that is a 14th straight game with at least 20 points for Kelsey Mitchell. Now the second longest streak in WNBA history. The longest single season streak is Asia Wilson's 15. Dishes. Mitchell slithers, cups. Oh my goodness.
So what have we seen? Since Kelsey Mitchell got her shot blocked, drove right that time, drove left, closing out hard. She's taking what the D's given her.
Oh, so is Miles. Everybody on the playground here in this first half. Miles is 23. Mitchell has 23. And Boston battling with Uhas, and the foul is called.
Kelsey Mitchell just driving, going to the right side, crossover, finishing left, the quickness, and then Olivia Miles the other way, air.
Miles with 23 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. She's 10 of 12 from the floor. Minnesota had a foul to give. Harris thought about it. 7 to shoot. Boston backing in. Denied by Uhas. 10 seconds left in the half. Williams eyes the clock. Williams getting ready to pull. She will. And that'll do it. Start of the third quarter in Minneapolis. And the Lynx with a 9-game winning streak. Last time they won 10 straight in a single season. We got to go back to 2016. Meanwhile, the Fever have won 5 in a row. Haven't won 6 straight since 2015 as Howard spins that in.
Minnesota handled that trap on McBride really well, just patiently getting the ball to the other side, then Collier getting it into Howard.
Clark on the drive. Little runner is good for Caitlin Clark, who has 13 points on 50% from the floor. Williams giving it up off the double. Howard gets fouled by Hull. Rebecca, what adjustments, and we know defense has been an issue for Indiana all season long, but what adjustments, if any, are there to make for the Fever to try and slow down this Lynx machine today?
Well, certainly the offensive glass has killed them in terms of Minnesota, as you see McBride and their ability to get second opportunities. And as a result, they haven't been able to get out in transition. No fast break points in that first half for Indiana.
Billings gets fouled by Miles. That is number 2 on Olivia Miles. And Billings will shoot 2. Meanwhile, Kayla McBride a little shaken up. Bent over and...
She's grabbing her ankle or her calf area.
Something leg related, and you could see...
She's limping.
Yeah, having a tough time getting up to the normal gait. And we talked about it before. Kayla McBride in July averaged 24 points on 53% from the floor and 49% from 3. Cheryl Reeve told us playing the best basketball of her life. And yeah, you know what? Should have been an and 1. Lexi Hall fouls her at the bottom after. And that's what I think McBride was also upset about. Oh, Kelsey Mitchell took another shot to the face. Second time today.
Look at the blitzes now from Indiana.
Miles slings it out of it. Shot clock down to 4. Howard on Clark. Howard gets fouled by Boston. That'll be number 2 on Aaliyah Boston.
Third possession by Minnesota where they run an on-ball screen. Third time Indiana blitzes it, and each time Minnesota's handled it really well and been able to make the correct pass out of it, even from the tough corner. That was a tough pass by Miles in the left corner.
Well, it's time for today's Sportsbook Player Polls. And to take a look at Olivia Miles, Caitlin Clark, their season numbers. What they've done so far today. DraftKings is the #1 sportsbook for live betting. Use promo code COURT when you sign up. First of 3 meetings between these teams this season. We'll also play September 22nd and 24th. We will have September 22nd on ESPN. Clark lobs it in. Boston backing, flipping, short, poked away beautifully by Collier. Here comes Miles, and Boston just got a hand on it to disrupt.
But I love at the end, Olivia Miles just points to Natasha Howard, like thanking her big for running the floor. She knows she should have let her just a little bit more.
Here's Williams, stopping and hitting. Courtney Williams, automatic in the mid-range, now 5 of 7 from the floor. Clark. No turnovers today for Clark, and a foul is called, and it's going to be on Howard, and that'll be number 4 on Natasha Howard.
Courtney Williams, her ability to get to the mid-range, and this has been Caitlin Clark's primary assignment. Just gets her to fly by with a little fake, and then the finish.
mentioned that mid-range number before for Courtney Williams. Second most all-time, trailing only Lynx great Simone Augustus as Indiana turns it over there. Their fifth of the game. Both teams have protected the basketball well in this one. Also, not a lot of free throw shot. Only player in foul trouble is Howard, who's now out with those 4. Miles steps out of bounds as she tried to dance around the hedge and the trap there from Boston.
And also worth noting, because of the pace of this game, is Indiana 39 hours from the tip of their last game to the tip of this one. So you see the trap once again, this time affecting Miles.
They got in at 6 in the morning yesterday from Portland. Clark can't hit that one. Long rebound, Williams.
So just wondering how that will impact here in the second half, especially once we get to the fourth quarter.
Indiana did a walkthrough yesterday afternoon. That 3 rims off for Coffey. Clark with the rebound. Looking to push for Indiana. Clark lobbing it in. Boston, the catch, the turn, and the finish.
Indiana gets a defensive board, able to push, gets an early, easy look. Completely different story when Minnesota can get to the offensive glass.
Boston in double figures now. Williams 3. That one's short. Long rebound. Another offensive board. McBride missed everything, out of bounds to Indiana.
Caitlin Clark, when she gets to the defensive boards, and she can push the other way. Aaliyah Boston running in the sights of Caitlin Clark. She lifts it over the top. Boston collects, finishes. That's what Indiana wants to do.
Here's Clark working behind Boston. Bounces to her on the pocket pass. Extra feed. Hole. Connects on the 3. Good looking set there from Indiana. And they've shaved 5 points off the deficit.
Aaliyah Boston so good in her decision making when she catches right there in the middle of the floor by the free throw line.
Hull's first field goal attempt, and now Hull nearly comes up with a steal. McBride wrestles it back. Williams, the fake, the take. Doesn't get the roll, and again Indiana can't secure the defensive glass, and Williams takes advantage. Clark handing it off. Minnesota with 11 second chance points. Indiana came into this game allowing the fewest second chance points in the league. Mitchell carving up the D, missed the runner. Miles wants it. Miles full head of steam, gets fouled, and Olivia Miles will go to the line.
And going back to the last offensive rebound by Courtney Williams, that's one area where Caitlin Clark needs to be better in terms of her focus defensively. She's the defender on Courtney Williams. Williams takes the shot. Clark just turns to go get the board instead of boxing out. We saw that a couple times in the Seattle game as well. So here, slide by instead of watching. That's where you've got to stay in the defensive mindset and get to your player and box them out.
Had a triple-double last game, and in the aftermath, Stephanie White said she was having a conversation with Caitlin Clark, where Caitlin saying, I felt like in the past, rebounds were kind of falling my way, and she said, I need you to go get them. And that's something Stephanie White has talked about with Lexi Hall, Caitlin Clark, and Kelsey Mitchell, needing them to go back to the glass more than they have been. So far today, they have a combined 3 rebounds.
Especially because they can then push it the other way. It makes their fast break more potent.
Good screen from Clark. Mitchell was free for a moment. Instead, it's Hull on the attack. Able to finish in the foul. A chance for 3 for Lexi Hull.
Closing out on Lexi Hull because you know she likes to shoot threes, and here taking inside. It wasn't a lot of contact there either, but you like the aggressive mindset from Hull.
And Hull completes the three-point play. Minnesota 75, Indiana 64, about midway through this third quarter. Here is Miles. Miles guarded by Clark. Miles will pull. No. And again, An offensive rebound. This time it's going the other way, though, as the foul is called.
Just encourage anyone to go and listen.
Minnesota, the 11-point lead midway through this third. Here's Mitchell, who had 23 in the first half. Clark gives it back. Mitchell, an open look. She got it on a three. 26 now for Mitchell, who is 5 for 5 from downtown. And Indiana's pulled to within single digits as that three airmails out of bounds. And McBride right in front of us still. You could see the shot laboring a little bit in the aftermath of that entanglement with Lexi Hall.
Certainly something is still bothering her. Just the way she's been moving.
Boston, the handoff to Mitchell. Mitchell on the attack, lays it in through the contact, and it's a 6-point game.
Indiana deliberate, getting Kelsey Mitchell 2 touches out of the timeout.
28 for Mitchell. Remember, Howard's on the bench in foul trouble. Another stop from Indiana. They trailed by 15 earlier in the quarter. Clark trying to force that one, her first turnover of the game. Caldwell. Trap comes. Miles evades home. Pass knocked out of bounds by Boston. Much better defense over the last few minutes from Indiana.
Kelsey Mitchell on the left side just stepping right in to the three. The following possession, they run a screen for her to catch it while she's going to her strong left side and then can get her way to the bucket. You would think maybe a healthy dose of getting Kelsey Mitchell touches the next couple of possessions.
Alexi Hall got screened to the ground. 6 to shoot. Caldwell looking to take it to Clark. Clark, the block and a foul. With 3.9 on the shot clock and free throws coming for Caldwell, as Indiana will take a look at whether or not they want to challenge. And they will decide not to. They've been successful once earlier in the game. I think that's clean.
I wonder if they're worried about the contact before she really goes into the motion.
Saturday, we'll have Indiana taking on Chicago. 3:30 Eastern right here on ABC and streaming on the ESPN app. WNBA Countdown gets us started early at 3.
I'll see you in Holly there.
That's right.
Our game.
Got a busy weekend with that, and then Liberty Aces the next day. Yeah.
Hope all the flights are on time.
The recent track record has not been strong.
It has been not strong to very strong.
Here's Clark dumping it in. Boston waits. Can't finish. Timpson can. By the way, those free throws a moment ago from Caldwell, that ended an 8-0 Indiana run. The Fever have tightened things up here in this third. McBride off to Williams. Into Collier, slipping and finishing. Lisa Collier, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Miles on the bench at the moment for Minnesota. Clark gives it up, gets it back. Timpson on the move, waits, gets denied from behind. Good stop there from Collier. Williams running the floor. Leaves it short. Rebound, knocked out of bounds. It will be Indiana basketball.
You can never lose your focus playing against Minnesota or Nafisa Collier. You cannot turn your head. You have to be aware at all times of where the ball and your player is. Great cut by Collier, then Collier on the defensive end. She's deceptive with those long arms and her ability to block shots.
Let's check in with Holly.
Well, Nafisa Collier moving so well on the basketball court, known for her footwork, and you can see it here, but she's wearing 2 big braces on those ankles, had surgery on each ankle in the offseason. They've got a very unique European brace that she's wearing that has a hinge on it. She's moving well and has a little extra support on those ankles.
Thank you very much, Al. As Clark can't hit that 3, Hines Allen getting her first minutes of the game. 8-point Minnesota lead.
Are braces like cars where European is better?
Good finish there from Collier. She's in double figures, and the lead is back to 10 for Minnesota. Indiana had cut it to 6, and now Hines Allen turns it over. Belair gives it up. Williams lays it in. Timeout fever. Big time response from the Lynx. You know, one thing to note, Rebecca, and we don't know the circumstances around it necessarily, but we did see Caitlin Clark getting sick pregame just before the start. She's played fine today, but hasn't had maybe necessarily the same juice as the last 5 games. And you wonder if she's under the weather at all.
Yeah.
Here's Harris cutting through. Can't bank it in, but gets the whistle. And Ty Harris will shoot 2. Harris has given Indiana really good minutes off the bench of late. That was something Cheryl Reeve pointed out to us as well, saying Timpson, Harris, and Cunningham all really deserve credit for what they've been providing off of Indiana's bench in this recent run. In this game, just 7 points off the bench for Indiana following those free throws. Belair into Collier, banging, and gets the whistle. Nafisa Collier's going to go to the line. She's been featured a little bit more here in the latter minutes of the third with Miles on the bench.
And certainly, her ability to use multiple steps with the same pivot foot while keeping the same pivot foot down just gets any defender off balance. And that's exactly what happened with Timpson. Yeah, Olivia Miles is out, so let's go to the player who was a 50-40-90 and second in MVP voting last year.
Pretty good. Holly?
Well, guys, we talked to Nafisa pregame, and she said she is still getting back to game speed and conditioning speed. She said, I worked out so hard. Assault bike every day, the rower, elliptical, running lines. I felt like I was in incredible condition. But as you know, the pace of a basketball game is a very different pace. So she does look good out there, but this has been something, a work in progress as she's come back to the pace of this game.
Thank you, Hall. Cunningham extra feed. In the corner, Mitchell, not that time. Hines Allen, the offensive rebound. Muscling up and off. Hines Allen then scraping up. Finding Cunningham. That's a deep 3. She got it. Sophie Cunningham with her first attempt from 3 today and knocks it in. It's an 8-point game. Now to a 12-second difference game in shot clock. Williams to Collier. The answer. Nafisa Collier with 15. And a huge 3 there to try and thwart any fever momentum into the 4th. Shot clock turned off. Harris probing, threw it low. Mitchell couldn't handle. Collier the flip.
Walking around our hotel wearing like WWE belts.
Yeah.
And I was unaware that SummerSlam was here. So I was just like, oh.
Kind of exciting, right?
Yeah, but I was like, oh, we don't normally see this in our hotel. So that explains it.
Did you ask to wear one of the belts?
Yes, I was going to accessorize my outfit with one.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Start of the 4th quarter. Here's Boston turning the corner, laying it in. Aaliyah Boston just can beat you in a variety of ways. So good on the move like that. 12 points for Boston, has 5 assists as well. Clark has 13 and 6, and Kelsey Mitchell with 28.
Talked in the first half about Boston and her ability to score on either block, going over either shoulder. When you're facing the basket, goes in and just overpowers most defenders when she gets inside, finishing. We know she's an excellent passer and decision maker as well.
Single-digit lead for Minnesota, led by as many as 15 in the third. Collier had a big finish to the frame. Collier can't finish there. Caldwell the offensive rebound. Williams gives it up. Caldwell's three, and a shot clock violation as Indy gets the stop following another offensive rebound for Minnesota.
Caldwell, as she always does, has brought really, really good energy. She's been defending Caitlin Clark offensively, attacking the glass. She's an energy player.
You know, the Lynx only have 7 offensive rebounds, but it's felt like so much more because every stop has been rare and precious. Poor pass there from Clark. Howard lays it in off the turnover. Just the second turnover today for Clark, but a costly one there. Turned into an easy 2 for Minnesota. Clark working behind Boston. Clark waits, fires, and hits. The mid-range is the one thing that Caitlin Clark has had going consistently today. 15 now for Clark. Williams with the answer. Somebody say mid-range.
How about her right to left crossover before she was able to get to her spot? Spectacular.
Here's Clark weaving, wheeling, taking. No. Not towards Collier. She'll flag it down. Williams again. Tickling the nylon. 20 for Courtney Williams. And a timeout taken by Indiana. No doubt playing a big role in the increased scoring, but you said also just how dynamic the offenses are. So we have to guard more movements in 24 seconds than ever before in this league, and the players are just so talented. There's Clark separating on a mid-range attempt and burying it again. 17 for Caitlin Clark, who's been especially efficient in the mid-range.
We've also mentioned the evolution of the players and just how good and talented they are on the offensive end.
Here's Collier. Collier bounces out. Williams takes the three, finds some space, can't hit that one. Boston lost the rebound. Another chance for Minnesota. Williams can't cash in. Boston comes back to the board. An opportunity for Indiana to try and creep a little closer. Simpson getting ready to check in for Indiana. Here's Clark. Weaving behind Boston. Feeds her in the paint. Boston misses the lay. A little too much on it. Miles back in for Minnesota. She's been incredible today. 25 points. 6 assists, 4 boards. Collier with the left hand, no. Rebound poked out. Nobody able to grab it for Indiana.
Caldwell again.
Collier coming. On a three.
The energy that Caldwell has brought in the second opportunity she has given her team.
And Indiana looks like they are sucking wind here in this second half. Mitchell out to Clark. Clark, a little stutter step. The layup is good for Caitlin Clark, who has 19.
Indiana likes to play fast, but this is a tough pace to play at the end of a road trip like they've had.
Here's Miles. Slings it underneath. Off Howard, out of bounds. It'll be Indiana ball.
Maya Caldwell, we've seen it on multiple possessions here. She comes to the top right here. Spain just goes in. Quicker to the basketball, has a nose for it. And then Defisa Collier just resets out in the corner.
Collier quiet early, loud late. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Triple-double watch for Collier, who does not have one in her career. Simpson couldn't hang on the delivery from Clark. Knocked away by Minnesota. Williams cashes in. Pulls down her kill spot. And that is why she has 22.
How spectacular has Williams been in the last few minutes? Certainly in the second half.
7 20-point game this season for Courtney Williams. Mitchell hopping into the paint, scoops it in around 2 defenders. Another 30-point game for Kelsey Mitchell. 30-point game this season, a fever season record for Kelsey Mitchell. Collier, not that time. Boston the rebound. Indiana still with time, but they need all their stops to turn into scores. Clark off to Boston. Fakes the three, dumps it underneath. Timpson to finish. And Minnesota will take a timeout as Boston is up to 7-6.
Both in sports and life, you want to be around energy givers, right? And
yes.
Olivia Miles has certainly showcased that today when we had her mic'd. People who celebrate your success as much as their own.
Giving sounds of the game plenty to work with. 10-point game, 4:30 to go in the fourth. Here is Williams. Pounded by Clark, 5 to shoot. Howard with 3. Timpson on her. Howard looking for an angle. Couldn't find it in a shot clock violation. An outstanding defense from Michaela Timpson.
She stays in her stance, moves her feet, keeps her hands active but upright when she needs. Here, hands off, moving. Great job with her feet, arms straight up. Timpson has an incredibly bright future. I don't think she's come close to scratching her ceiling.
Here's Boston. 8 to shoot. Boston gets it back to Clark. Now Boston, an attempt from 3 is good. And it's a 7-point game with just under 4 minutes to go. A 7-0 Indiana run. Despite the fatigue, playing hard here as Miles loses it. Trap, squirms it out to Collier. Her 3, no. And Timpson the board. An opportunity for Indiana to creep closer. Clark, backdoor, Mitchell, reverses it in. Timeout, Minnesota. It's a 5-point game as Clark gets the crowd going. A lot of Fever fans in the building here in Minneapolis, and Indiana on a 9-0 run.
To her teammates. First, Aaliyah Boston here, getting the ball to Caitlin. 2 defenders go with Clark. Boston has the open look from 3. And then coming off the Boston screen, Mitchell back cuts along the baseline. So good at that. And Caitlin Clark delivers her the basketball. Make no mistake, this is starting on the defensive end for the Indiana Fever. The blitzes in the second half at times have given Minnesota some issues, including the last possession where Olivia Miles had the turnover.
32 for Mitchell. 15, 7, and 4 for Boston. Caitlin Clark with 19 points, 8 assists. So we check in with Holly.
Well, you see Caitlin Clark trying to incite the crowd here, and that might seem strange on the road in a place like the Lynx building, but there are so many Indiana Fever and Iowa fans here. It's about a 4-hour drive to Iowa City where she played her college ball, but really, she started out watching the WNBA right here in this building. She came to her first WNBA game here for the Lynx. She grew up a Maya Moore fan, and after she came to that game, she went home and did this report. I want to play in the WNBA. So her dreams started right here in Minnesota, and the fans are showing up to make sure her dreams continue.
And Holly, one of the other things on that board to meet Maya Moore, which she eventually got to do. Really awesome stuff, seeing her live out those dreams and the connection and fandom she has for Maya. 5-point game, 5 on the shot clock. Williams with 2. Williams has to hoist, can't hit. Rebound Boston. Indiana with the basketball down 5.
That was really good defense by Caitlin Clark as well.
Clark separates mid-range, foul on the floor against Miles. And that is the first team foul against Minnesota here in this fourth.
Courtney Williams is so difficult to defend because of her ability to use screens. Here it's a handoff. Caitlin Clark fights through it, stays with her, stays connected, contests.
Mitchell on a 3 right off the inbound, and it's a 2-point game. 98-96. Williams backdoor and buries the mid-range.
Williams worked the before she caught the basketball, led to that open look.
Mitchell will try again, gets fouled, and Kelsey Mitchell will shoot 3 free throws with the chance to make this a 1-point game.
Last time down the floor, the inbounds, you want to find Kelsey Mitchell just right there, stepping into it, going to the left side, and then Courtney Williams knows she's getting denied, so just curls back. Lisa Collier reads it, delivers, so does Courtney.
Kelsey Mitchell fouled here on the 3-point attempt. They do not review for a reckless closeout. Now they will. So they didn't initially, and now they will review for a reckless closeout.
Didn't look like it was a reckless closeout, just looked like a normal foul.
The previous defensive foul is being reviewed for a potential reckless closeout.
So look to see if the shooter lands on the defender's foot. That does not happen here.
Look at is the room to close, potential for injury. It's an extended closeout from Miles, but it does not look like Mitchell's foot lands on Miles, so you would think this is just going to remain a common foul. It's that foot-to-leg contact here instead.
Yes.
Minnesota's been so impressive all day.
After review, the defensive foul does not meet the criteria of a reckless closeout as it's leg-to-foot contact. Therefore, play will resume with 3 free throws to Kelsey Mitchell.
And that is number 5 on Olivia Miles. So 5 fouls now on Miles with 2:37 to go here in the 4th. You have 4 on Aaliyah Boston, 4 on Natasha Howard. That's the only real foul trouble in this game. But, you know, Minnesota's looked so good all game long, so deep, fluid. Now Indiana, who's looked fatigued in the second half, they've shown a lot of grit, heart, and now a chance to make this a 1-point game. Mitchell with 35 already in this game. Her career high is 38. Chance to match it right here. Taking a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule later today. NBC and Peacock have LA and Portland, 3:30 Eastern. And tonight on ESPN, Connecticut, Dallas at 7. Tomorrow, Vegas and Atlanta at 7 on Peacock and USA Network. There's Phoenix and Chicago at 9. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app.
Came on the air talking about how both Olivia Miles and Caitlin Clark are in the MVP conversation. Make no mistake, Kelsey Mitchell is as well.
Mitchell makes 2 of 3 at the line. She has 37. Asia Wilson, Paige Beckers, Brianna Stewart, other names in that conversation with Asia the favorite right now. Indiana on a 14-2 run. It's a 2-point game. Miles trying to evade, lost it out of bounds, and it will stay with Minnesota. Indiana does have 1 challenge remaining. They were successful earlier in the game. Last hits the left hand of Timpson. 4th time this year, Miles has had 5 fouls. She has not fouled out. Deflected. Clark knocks it away. Mitchell comes up with it, and Indiana can tie or take the lead here. Here's Clark turning the corner. Boston fakes the 3 and travels. And Caitlin Clark immediately telling her, just shoot that. Aaliyah Boston has talked about that adjustment, and she settled into it pretty quickly. But shooting that 3 immediately, as she's the most accurate shooter in the league this year from 3.
It looked like her feet were ready too, but she could just step into the 3.
Minnesota ball under 2 minutes to go. McBride through the lane, misses the layup. Howard, the follow is good. Lead back to 4 for Minnesota. Here's Clark, weaving, dishing, gets it back, fires, can't hit. Boston the O-board, out to Cunningham. Clark another chance. That one won't go. Boston battling in a foul on Boston. 2 good looks from 3 for Caitlin Clark there. Neither go down. And Minnesota the 4-point lead in the ball. Clark, who had been historically efficient from 3 of late, just 2 for 9 in this one. McBride, the lefty lay, won't go. Howard, the old board, denied by Kingston. Indiana ball. Can they get Mitchell a touch here? They do. Mitchell a 3. Too much on it. A great look there from Kelsey Mitchell.
Last couple of possessions, great looks from both Clark and Mitchell, and the one that Boston passed up.
Coming on a minute to go. Miles through the lane. Oh, my! Served it up and in. Might have just put the W on a platter.
Her ability to attack the basket, but then finish on whichever side is better for her that time. Coming through to the left side, but with the right hand, just corrals it with one and finishes.
And just like that, the lead is 7 for Minnesota. Indiana had cut it to 2 and had the basketball. But the putback from Howard, the misses from Clark and Mitchell after the turnover from Boston, and then that huge finish from Miles. Indiana uses their reset. It allows them to advance the basketball, but not huddle. Dangerous inbound. Howard knocks it away. By the way, this 5 for Indiana that has generated the comeback is a 5 that has really been rounding into shape for them. Mitchell through the lane, knocked out. Good D there from Collier.
Terrific deflections, just first on the inbound and then here on the pass. So it looked like Indiana was going to get a decent look from 3 on the right side.
Clark, looking at Mitchell, finds Timpson. Timpson roaming inside, lays it in, plus the foul. And a chance for 3 for Michaela Timpson.
Timpson using her strength and her patience, gets inside a couple of pump fakes, stepping through, finishing with the right hand.
6th straight game with a lead, extending the longest streak in WNBA history. That was assist number 10 for Clark. Hull will come in for Clark. Indiana goes offense, defense, and Timpson misses the free throw. Now Minnesota will use their reset. You can sub on a reset. You advance the basketball. You cannot huddle. Only a few years old, so we like to periodically remind you of what rules go along with the reset. Now, the interesting thing would be if Indiana gets a stop here on the quicker side, would they call a timeout to get Clark back in the game or just run action? Of course, Minnesota will wind some clock. That's exactly what Miles is doing. Here's Williams. McBride in the corner, 7 to shoot. Williams runner. You go. Clark off the inbound. Gets it back from Mitchell. Clark looking into Boston, trying to fire a 2. Wasn't much there. Turns it over. And that should just about do it with 27 seconds remaining in this 4th. Timpson will come in and get Hull. Check that. She will get Clark as they go offense, defense. Williams fouled by Hull. Minnesota in the bonus, and Williams will go to the line to shoot 2. I'm already looking forward to September 22nd on ESPN.
We've got that one too, don't we?
We do.
That one's in Indy, Minnesota at Indy.
That's right.
It's crazy that this is the first matchup between these teams, that it did not happen until after the All-Star break.
And it has lived up to the billing.
Yes.
Williams with 27. Olivia Miles with 28. Collier with 18, 8, and 7. Clark with 19 points, 10 assists. Aaliyah Boston with 15, 7, and 7. And Kelsey Mitchell with 37. One off her career high. Here's Boston to fire the three. Won't go. Rebound McBride. And now Indiana will back off. A riveting show here today at Target Center. And for the first time since 2016, the Minnesota Lynx have won